Hey guys, Hannah Bell, family lawyer, here with the Family Law 101. It's time we get back to basics. I've been doing a lot of the pro tip videos, but let's work our way through a suit so we know what's up. And so if you're a new client of mine, I've probably told you, go to the Facebook and watch these videos so it'll save you money of me not explaining to you in person. Just watch the video. And those of you who've seen several of these are like, Hannah, where's the minivan? Why are you in this cute little convertible? I got to borrow my husband's car today and I'm feeling very stylish and very not minivan mom for the hour that I needed it because mine's getting tired. So back to that tomorrow. But okay, anyway, so I think our next topic in the series, because we talked about getting the lawsuit started, the answer period, those things, we need to talk about temporary orders next. And I kind of cringe because I can't really fit this in a little bitty video because it's too kind of vast and important. So I think the best way to do this is if we break it up sort of in a series and work our way through, and maybe then I can make one big explanation, one of those live video things, however you do that, I don't know, and explain it all. Because I think it could be really helpful to you. I wish I would have known about this in my own case and when I was first figuring out how to do this. So, okay. The temporary orders are in Chapter 105 of the Texas Family Code. That's the part that gives the court the authority to do it. And they're really exactly what they sound like. Temporary orders while your case is going on. Now, temporary orders about what is probably your question. And that's a really good question. It's basically about everything that your divorce and custody suit is about, okay? So, for instance, who's going to get the kids most of the time? Are they going to keep going to their same school? Yes. What about paying child support? Who gets to stay in the house? Who has to leave the house? Who's going to pay the electric bill, etc.? So, because when you start a divorce petition, it can take a really long time to get to final, months, years, right? Long time. So you can't wait on certain things. So I think that's the idea and why the courts can do this. And generally speaking, they're kind of par for the course if there's any fighting in your suit. So if there's any argument about who has to stay, who has to go, where the kids are going to be, etc., and y'all can't agree, we need to go get somebody else to agree for you, or tell you what to do at the courthouse. So you do that through temporary orders. Now, with my lawyer friends and those of you who might be familiar with other kinds of litigation, these are most akin to temporary injunction proceedings. And you'll know what I mean because this is the micro of the macro of your case. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying if you lose XYZ or you don't get primary, whatever, on temporary, that you're not going to get it on final, because that's not true necessarily. But things in motion tend to stay in motion, right? So they're super important. And they're a bit of a misnomer, or they give you the wrong impression because it's called temporary orders. And I always thought that meant they're good for a few weeks. Temporary injunctions expire on their own terms or by operation of law after 14 days unless you extend them. Temporary orders in these cases are not like that because they can go on for years. As long as the case isn't yet settled or finished or tried, those orders can still be in effect. Usually they say until further order of the court. Now, one thing to note, and I think people get this confused, temporary orders are not the same thing as a temporary restraining order. A temporary restraining order is truly like an injunction because they only last 14 days unless you extend them and all that. But temporary restraining orders think like some kind of violence, really acute situation, danger to children, danger to property. You don't have to give the same kind of notice. It's a whole different thing, which we can do a different one about that. But I'm not talking about TROs, or temporary restraining order. We're talking about temporary orders in that they last for this kind of indefinite period of time and lay the ground rules of how everything's going to go during your lawsuit. Okay, so part one, temporary orders are quasi-temporary orders the court can enter about your kids and your stuff and whatever else while your divorce suit's going on. So coming up next, we'll talk about how to know if your case has been set for temporary orders and whether, we'll probably talk about too, like whether you should get them, right? All right. Hope everybody's having a great week.